I'm here talking to Marc Mundel from South Africa, who's just done the 50k race of his life. Tell us about it, Marc.
Yeah, Tim, really delighted to come out here and walk away with a national record and continental record. Didn't expect it coming into this race based on the limited amount of training. So probably the most unprepared I've been for a 50k, and then ironically the best race of my life. So yeah, really delighted, and hopefully it will encourage more walkers back home to take up the sport and do something to get recognized, and hopefully also promote the 50k in Africa, because I'm the sole participant from Africa at the moment. So hopefully the African Athletics Association will take note of it and encourage 50k participation going forward.
You're quite right. There are in fact a lot of 20k walkers, but you're it in terms of 50.
Yeah, well, Tim, there's no Continental Championship back home. There's no title back home. So there's no 50k at an African Championships. There's no 50k at the All Africa Games. There's no title. Even in South Africa, we don't have an international caliber event. I mean, we've got a national championships, but it basically means nothing because there's no judges there from an international standpoint. So for any South African athlete, 20 or 50, you've got to go abroad to come and race. And that's why at the moment there's 3 South Africans all coming across for the January camps and coming to Australia to try and get times on the table other than the 20k or 50k. So yes, hopefully my participation here will do a lot for walking, not only in South Africa, but on the continent.
Now today, you never looked under pressure. I was watching you lap after lap. Never once did I see any real fatigue or stress on your face. You seem to handle the 25 laps really comfortably.
It's something I've definitely been trying to work on. I had a really bad couple of races, 4 in a row since London, where I've kind of been so desperate to try and chase a PB and go off at about 30 or 35 Ks and feel like a champion from 30 to 40 and then really come home walking 55 in Taichung and 52 in Beijing. So today was all about just hurry up and wait until about 45 Ks as far as possible. So very different mindset coming into it. Really just wanted to walk a tactically astute race and to make sure I got my hydration right. So building up to Rio, this was the first of the races to get that right, improve on it going into Gdansk and then nail it in Rio. So now we'll probably have a bit of a reassessment. I'll chat to coach this evening and have a big discussion as to what happens now, because I wrote down I'd be happy with a 4:02 and maybe if it went really well dip under 4 hours. So this has really thrown me out completely, but yeah, really quite delighted with the way it was. Nice and controlled, felt really good throughout, and was fantastic walking with Chris and Anaki and Ian and Brandon, and just being in a race with so many people that have gone under 3:55. I mean, incredible. And then to see Evan just demolish the Canadian record and go off like he did, just completely solo. Fantastic bunch of guys to have been training with and to be racing with here.
Yeah. Now, of course, you've just spent a month with those blokes, most of them up in Canberra. That's gone really well.
Yeah, really blessed and privileged to have received the invite to come and attend the training camp at the AIS. The nutritional study was a bit rough, being on the high-fat diet, but all credit to Louise Burke and her team there. They did a fantastic job inviting a very cosmopolitan group of international race walkers to come and participate into and enjoy the study, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just the opportunity to train with the likes of Evan and Nike and Ben from Canada, and then Rafa came out from Poland, and then all the Aussie lads in attendance. And look, for me, training back home, I train everything on my own. There's so little going on, and to come and be around 10, 12 people that are training at this high intensity all the time, you wake up, roll out of bed, and there are 10 other people that are there to dice you every day. So it's been absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to get back in January to participate in this follow-up study and to really stay with these boys all the way through to Rio. That's my aspiration.
Now, you said 2 others are coming out. I assume Wayne's coming out.
Wayne is actually coming out to the training camp out in Rainbow with Dave Smith. So he's being coached by Dave at the moment. So it's quite strange how all the South Africans are starting to go in search of international people to look after them. Lebo is still with Chris Britt, the former South African record holder over 20 Ks, and then I'm still with Jamie Costin from Ireland. So we've all decided that this is a place to be, to come out and train with a bunch of top athletes and to really benefit from big training camps. I personally resigned after qualifying for Rio, so I've been unemployed since April, and I'm actually going home to get some pocket money so I can come back for the next camp. And Wayne's just resigned Friday was his last day of work, so he can pursue his aspirations all the way through to Rio. So definitely a change in the ethos back home, and it's a really wonderful position for South African walking, because in 2012 I qualified for the Olympics and raced in London, and I was the first South African walker since 1960 to go to the Olympics. And now all of a sudden we're going to have potentially 3 men, 2 have already qualified, with Wayne aspiring to qualify. And it just bodes well for walking, not only in South Africa but just on the continent, that South Africa are putting a dominant stand on the sport, and especially building up to 2022 Commonwealth Games back home. Hopefully we'll actually have somebody that's able to contend for it, and we might actually bring some walkers across to Brisbane for 2018 Commonwealth Games.
Excellent. So look, well done, Mark. A fantastic walk today. We'll look forward to seeing you in Adelaide in February.
Yeah, Tim, definitely really looking forward to coming out and to have a good crack out over the 20 kilometre, maybe see if I can dip under an 84 if everything goes well, and should be really good. But a big thank you to everyone from Athletics Australia that put this event on. It's fantastic racing here in Melbourne, and it's basically the home of Australian walking, so fantastic to be here, fantastic to come out with all these people. And I mean, the field showed up today. I mean, the number of Olympic qualifiers that have come out of here, the number of PBs, people qualifying for World Cup, just absolutely fantastic set of conditions that we got today, and a great venue.
Thanks.